Hello friends, James Stevenson back with your exclusive weekly series, James and Loki's Gems of the Week. Let's bring Loki into the conversation. There he is. He looks ready to speak up this time. Normally he's curled up under his blankets or something, but today he is poised and ready to strike with information. I'll begin by addressing the elephant in the room. Yes, my hair is wet. Normally I don't take a shower and run right in here and make a video immediately, but today I am because I had to get this video recorded this weekend. It is my promise to you that every week I will go through every tweet that I liked and explain why Loki and I liked those tweets. So I'm here to do that, and there were a ton of tweets that I liked over the past week, maybe because Tesla reported record production and deliveries over this week. So without further ado, we will jump right into it. I'll share my desktop with you. You can keep an eye on Loki down here. If you're a subscriber, you know that. While I'll be over here, this was the last tweet that I liked last week from Sawyer Merritt, retweeting a video of a matte black Cybertruck. You can go back and watch last week's video for all of the tweets that I liked a week ago. But since then, what have I liked? Well, I liked this one during the video. Maybe both of these. The first person to put a red light cover over the running light bar wins for the kit sweep on the Cybertruck. That'll be cool. The first person who gets that to work. Custom speakers in the front would be lit to make the sound effect of the sweep. That would be fun. Cybertruck is the club now. All right, so here's the first one that I think I liked since last week's video. This drive in a Tesla from K10. Check it out. How awesome is that drive? Here's one from Elon Musk that I liked on New Year's Eve. We like to put little fun Easter eggs in our cars. Small, unexpected delights are part of what make life worth living. So let's scroll up here and see what this is. Oh, it's Tesla Economics retweeting the same video I retweeted of some folks figuring out that you can make the windows on your Cybertruck smash by tapping them enough with your fingers on the screen. It'll smash the windows once you take delivery of your Cybertruck. You can do that instead of throwing steel balls at your window and risking that you will actually damage them in real life. So that's a fun Easter egg that I'm happy the Tesla team put in. That may have been the one Elon was alluding to during the Cybertruck deliveries event presentation when he said we've got some Easter eggs in there for you. Here's one from Holmar's catalog. The EV point of sale credit starts tomorrow. Tesla superchargers will also open up to all EVs. Welcome to a new era of EVs in North America. That's just a good post, so I gave that one a like. Elon said we poured our heart and soul into that truck. What's he replying to, though? Well, it's this tweet from Paul Mangiamele. A few reflections after 48 hours. I knew this truck would have some degree of wow factor, but I don't think I appreciated how insane reactions would be. It would be easier to count the cars/people that don't take pictures. I even had a McLaren maneuver around a few lanes to film the truck. I think I'd get less attention in a Bugatti. I've owned 7 Teslas since 2018, 3 Model Ys. And this truck is unbelievably refined. The ride is smooth. Steer-by-wire makes a 7,000-pound truck glide. It looks incredible, but as more people experience this vehicle, you'll realize how the new tech comes together. I've never had a truck, nor have I considered one, but I'm surprised how practical and well thought out all the space is. The back seats that fold up make a perfect area for our 3 dogs. That's an underrated feature of Cybertruck. The rear seats fold up. And also not talked about enough in my opinion, this sound system is extraordinary. If you like music, this truck feels like a concert. Just make sure to adjust audio levels, subwoofers up. Oh, and it fits in a garage. Yeah, there you go. So no objections left for for you not to buy a Cybertruck. Maybe the price tag, and maybe Tesla will work on that price as time goes by. They do have 2 million pre-orders, so it makes sense that they would charge more for the people who want to take delivery first, right? Those are the people who want to pay more for their Cybertruck for the privilege of being one of the first people to own one. Elon says, guess my hat will remain uneaten. What's he talking about here? It's a tweet from Eric Berger at SciGuySpace. LOL, Happy New Year. From 2018, in February, Elon said 3 years ago, before ULA canceled all medium versions of Delta 4, future missions have all Delta fixed costs piled on, so their cost is now $600 million plus for missions contracted for launch after 2020. Nutty high. Somebody replied, I think after 2020, the idea is to switch to Vulcan's Centaur Plus for heavy lift, not stick with Delta. Elon said, maybe that plan works out, but I will seriously eat my hat with a side of mustard if that rocket flies a national security spacecraft before 2023. What rocket? The Vulcan Centaur Plus. Tori Bruno said, wow, at the time, but Elon was right. That thing has still never flown with any government spacecraft. All right. Here's one from Dave Lee. 2 days ago, I lost an old high school buddy. Just earlier in the week, he was fine playing with his kids. Came down with a fever on Tuesday. Buddy went into sepsis and renal failure on Wednesday. Passed on Friday. Survived by wife and 3 young kids. He was just 50 years old. Crazy how quickly everything unfolded and how drastically life for his family has changed in just a few days. I'm still in shock and processing it all. 1,700 people like this post from Dave Lee. Poignant reminder of the fragility of life. You are not promised tomorrow, so make the most of today. Here's a tweet from Brandon at Brandon TSLA. Cybertruck makes every other truck look outdated. Retweeting Dennis CW at Dennis CW_. Wait a minute. Which one are you taking? So here we have, I guess 2 photos composited together. I don't really well, maybe that's a screenshot of somebody who had 2 photos. I don't know what I'm looking at exactly. Is this peeking over a wall? Somebody tell me in the comments below what this very sharp contrast is between the top half and the bottom half of this photo. But you got a Rivian R1T over here and a Ford, what is that, an F-150 Lightning, and a Cybertruck. All right, which one do you want? Which one do you want, folks? You want the Cybertruck, don't you? Ah, man, I went back too far. So we'll scroll down, we'll click the likes, we'll come on down, and we'll find where we were, and we'll keep going. I don't know why I hit the back button too many times, but we will keep going. Once we find that photo again, it won't be long, folks. This is just a very, very quick coming attractions preview. Maybe it's not that quick. We got a lot of show left, folks. Here it is. All right, here's one from Jack Farrington. YYYY MMDD is the only correct format. I agreed with that, so I clicked like on that. With the reply coming to a comprehensible map of all countries that use the MMDD YYYY date format. Yeah, yeah. Okay. Here's one from My Tesla Weekend at 4K Podcast. Been under the weather the past 2 days. Hope to get my production delivery video done, but just couldn't. Here's my Q4 numbers. Deliveries 482,621, production 487,621. I did pretty well on that deliveries forecast number. Production maybe a little low, but the other one was solid estimate. Here's one from Sawyer Merritt at Sawyer Merritt. Here are some extra 2023 stats of mine. Just for subscribers to view, I shouldn't have showed you those. Here's one from Benamortasia at Benamortasia666. It's dead now, and yesterday a few others. What are we talking about? It was the account that I reported in my video when I said it takes too long to report impersonators. So good to see that Twitter did suspend that account. Wish I hadn't needed to make a video about how hard it is to report impersonators for them to have suspended the account. But good that it went through. Here's one from Pope of Muscanity at Rational Etienne. Happy New Year with Pope Etienne with Lauren in this photo. So good to see them out enjoying New Year's festivities. Here's one from James Locke at ArcTech Inc. Appreciate you all. Interesting reactions to posts these days. For those of you who don't know me, I support Tesla in so many ways. I own 4 Teslas currently, own stock, and donate my time to the local owners club and to Tesla Corporate with helpful and sometimes not feedback. I believe in pushing for Tesla to always be better, and the contacts I have made within the ranks aren't afraid to tell me when I'm off base. My heart is always in the right place to help Tesla succeed. I am pro-Tesla, pro-Elon, but I am not a blind yes person or a fanboy who doesn't question things, and I will speak up when something isn't right. Usually I do it quietly in the background, but sometimes I pull an Elon, haha I know, right? And open my mouth on social media and bring on the hate. So good to see James Locke setting people straight. He's entitled to his opinions just like the rest of us are. And he's a pro-Tesla person, so stop giving him grief. All right, here's one from Philip Liu. I have a 2018 Model 3 which was in for repairs after I was rear-ended. We still have a 2014 Acura MDX, so I drove that to work for about a week. The MDX has lane hold assist and smart cruise control. After about 2 days, I totally stopped using it because it was so hard to tell when the system would turn off on me. No dings. Maybe a tiny 1 centimeter icon that would change color. I also had no idea why it would work or stop working. But hey, let's just ignore all these vehicles that have systems like this. Let's just go after Tesla exclusively. That's what NHTSA says. So go watch that video if you didn't watch it. That's what he was replying to, in agreement with me that NHTSA should find something more useful to do with their time that would make more of a difference for safety on the highways, which is supposed to be what they're about. Here's one from Mark Anthony at Musk Stay Calm, who was super nice to me when I was at the Tesla deliveries event and took care of me when I was not feeling well. Synergy of clean energy, my Tesla Model Y cruising smoothly, surrounded by the sun's warmth and the gentle hum of wind turbines, embracing the power of renewables with gratitude to be alive during this transition. So there's Mark's Model Y that he chauffeured me around Austin in. I don't know where he was when he took these photos. He didn't say in the tweet. He might have been back in Canada again, where he works for Tesla. Here's a tweet from Tesla Mojo, at Tesla Mojo, RIP. Nick DeLellis said, after 15 years, solar panels are no longer efficient and must be disposed of. But this trash is highly toxic and poses major environmental and health risks. Solar panel waste is 300 times more harmful than nuclear waste? Are you kidding me right now? Often solar waste is sent to poorer nations for disposal. Follow me for more. All right, what did the community note say? The inevitable community note on this nonsense. Solar lasts 30 to 35 years. Panels are mostly aluminum and glass, easily recycled, and non-toxic. 300 times more harmful than nuclear waste? Why don't you eat a spoonful of nuclear waste and then let me know which one is more toxic? The author is in the fossil fuel industry and is not a credible source. Well, there you go. So that's what's going on there. Oh, that's not an L. That's an I. Nick Dei Ulis. Uliis. There's a lot more I's than L's in that name. Okay. So yeah, that guy is dead. As well he should be, making all those false claims. You're not allowed to just go post anything you want, no matter how false. Community notes will find you and correct your foolishness for all to see. On X, you can go post foolishness on other platforms and only have to deal with unsubstantiated replies. But on X, there's community notes. Here's one from Roland Percher at PILOLY. These are the expectations for today's Tesla Q4 deliveries. 483.2 Bloomberg, 480.5 IR compiled, 479 Troy Test-like, 472.9 FactSet. I was right in line with FactSet. And then Tesla crushed those estimates, coming in over all of these, slightly above the Bloomberg number, 484 and change. We're about to see the number. You can also see the past quarter's expectations with deliveries and So yeah, Tesla beat all these. If we don't see another one from Roland before the end of this video, here's one from Matt Smith. Science should be unprofitable and isolated to academic papers which are interesting, debatably, but not practical. What's Matt Smith replying to? It's Warren Redlick. We got a whole lot of Rebellionaire Lions going on in this thread. Breaking: Scientific American changes its name to We Hate Tech. What's this say? Tech billionaires need to stop trying to make the science fiction they grew up on real. Oh, wouldn't it be horrible if we had a bunch of stuff that you see in, movies and TV shows like Star Trek? Wouldn't that just be awful if all that science became real? Here's one from Sergi Salas at Masterplan 2018, and what no one is going to talk about is Tesla's accuracy of calculation when it comes to achieving its targets. Those that have been left over, 8,581, are less than 0.5% of the 1.8 million target. So he's talking about the sales figures for the year, the delivery numbers for Tesla for the year. With their daily spreadsheets that allow them to raise or lower prices in every market in the world, has achieved their target with pinpoint accuracy. Hashtag Tesla. Congratulations, Tesla team. Yeah, he's talking about how Tesla makes price adjustments all the time based on the order rate. That's a smart thing to do, is to let data inform your decision making on pricing so that your backlog doesn't get too long and your backlog doesn't get too small. You look at the booking pace or the reservations pace, and you make pricing adjustments or promotional adjustments based on the order flow. That's a smart way to manage your business, and it is how Tesla does it. And they did come in only 8,581 units over their goal of 1.8 million for the year, which I tweeted here. Congratulations to the whole Tesla team for once again breaking all-time quarterly records for both production and deliveries, and beating their 2023 deliveries goal of 1.8 million. So there are the numbers if you want to pause and take a look at it. We got a lot more tweets to cover in this video, so I will keep going. Here's one from Dylan Loomis, at Dylan Loomis 22. With Tesla's Q4 delivery number, this now marks 3 years achieving its 50% growth target that was set in 2020. You're going to hear a lot of noise throughout the year about Tesla failing to continue this pace in 2024. What Tesla actually said in 2020 was, over a multi-year horizon, we expect to achieve 50% average annual growth in vehicle deliveries. The rate of growth will depend on our equipment capacity, factory uptime, operational efficiency, and the capacity and stability of the supply chain. Translation: even if Tesla misses the mark of 2.52 million for 2024, given they're in an intermediate growth phase before next-gen launches, they never said they would grow 50% every single year. For long-term investors, what happens in 2024 is not nearly as important as what happens in the few years following. We'll see what happens in 25 through 28 as the $25,000 compact and Cybertruck scale. Don't forget, Tesla Energy is now more profitable on a gross margin basis than Tesla Auto and is growing faster than Tesla. So, yeah, there we go. Good stuff from Dylan Loomis. So I'll hit back one more time and then keep scrolling up. Here's one from Unusual Whales. I have just released the full report on politicians trading in 2023. You can pause this and read the rest of the tweet if you want. I know most of you are not here for US politics, so I'll just let you pause and look at this if that interests you. I liked it. Up we go to the next tweet from Alexandra Mertz at Tesla Boomer Mama. Please all note that the below website is a fraud, tagging me, Sawyer, Matthew Donegan Ryan, Gary Black, and Teardown Titan Sandy Monroe. They are using your identities, who are, well, if you're curious, go search for this tweet and you'll find it. It's a fake website that lists us as being the people behind the website. But don't you believe it. So I like that tweet from Alexandra. Here's one from Elon Musk with a 100 emoji replying to the Rosenberg police Spotted out in the wild, what do you think, Elon Musk? Will the Cybertruck make a good police vehicle? It's still hard to find new vehicles to replenish our older police units. Should we make the change in 2024? So Elon says, yeah, and if you didn't see that video from Larry Ellison, Oracle has a law enforcement trim version of Cybertruck all sketched out. I don't know if they've physically made one, but they have plans for one. Here's one from Elon Musk replying to me saying very long way. What's he saying very long way to? Well, it's this animated chart I made captioning it, Tesla has come a long way in 16 years, and just showing for every year since how many vehicles Tesla delivered. And then I messed up the date at the end. I put Q4 24 because I have 2024 on the brain. In my day job, it's been fiscal year 24 for a long time. So I think if it's the most recent data, it must be 24, and I absent-mindedly keyed that in Q4 24. The live version is up to date. I just couldn't send that one again. So he also liked that post, so good to see that from Elon. And he liked this one with the production numbers on it. So I was on fire that day with Elon liking my tweets. Here's one from the Universal at the Universal 11. Hey, look on the bright side. At least he correctly predicted ASP would be down. Tagging me. What's this? Well, it's political reality at PolitiReality. I just call him poor. For short. My current delivery forecast, if you didn't watch that video, that's a good one. I released it a couple of days ago. My current delivery forecast, Q1 403, Q2 351, Q3 290, Q4 310. Total of 1.344 million for 2023. Essentially zero growth, which is not bad, except ASP is down 15%. So I did steal this screenshot and use it on Poor later that day. Here's an LOL from Elon Musk. What's this about? I just said Elon was right, retweeting Bark at BarkMSmeagol. Hashtag DumDumWatch Day 819. Someone remind me of this post when Model Y sales for 2022 and 2023 are final. This was Tesla Charts, TC Master of Chart, commenting LOL when retweeting Elon Musk, predicting best-selling by revenue in 2022, possibly by unit volume in 2023. Correct and correct. He was right on both predictions. So, LOL, a rich reward for Elon. He who lolls last, lolls loudest. I replied. Here's one from Martin Vieca that I liked. 1.85 million Teslas made and 1.81 million delivered in 2023. It was hard to imagine a few years ago that essentially two vehicle models, Model 3 and Y, can become this popular. Sustainable energy transition is happening and there's no turning back. So good stuff here. Tesla essentially tweeting the same thing I tweeted on that press release. Here's another one Elon liked that day. I made a fresh meme after NHTSA recalled Tesla's autopilot because they didn't love how Tesla monitors driver attention and displays reminders to drive safely. But NHTSA still hasn't recalled millions of vehicles that can't do any of that. He liked that. Here's a reply from Elon to somebody else. LMAO, we just hit an all-time record high for usage. ALX saying, yes, let's consult with the experts who probably said the acquisition would never happen in the first place. I wasn't able to find one of those, but there were people who said the acquisition would never happen in the first place. Scott Galloway was one of them. He said Elon can't afford to buy Twitter when he was considering it publicly. Would Elon Musk sell X as losses mount? Experts weigh in. Yeah, we just hit all-time record usage, so no, Elon's not interested in selling X. Here's one from CERN Basher. Tesla's growth rate and inventories, two things that come to mind. Sorry, let me try that again. Two things that some people like to find fault with. Nothing grows in a straight line. Year over year, Tesla saw growth in deliveries of 37.6% if you just compare 2022 to 2023. Very solid growth during difficult economic conditions for automakers. The 50% CAGR target since 2020 would put deliveries at 1,686,309, but Tesla beat that. While Tesla is still tracking above the 50% CAGR line, the red line, it's likely to fall below the target in 2024. So I like anytime somebody puts out a good graphic visualization of Tesla beating this target. So I made some myself. I'm not going to read this whole thing because we have a long video coming. But if you want to pause it and read the whole thing, great tweet from CERN Basher. Here's one from Matt Smith. Production 497,200, deliveries 484,700. He almost called it exactly right with this number. I mean, that's close enough. You may as well just call it hit. Matt got within 0.04%. Folks, you're not going to get closer than 0.04%, probably. You would need a very heavy dose of luck to get any closer than that. One order of magnitude better. Luck be a lady tonight, replying to my Tesla Weekend 4K podcast, who got plenty close enough, less than 0.5%. I was within about 0.5% on production, and I was within 2.5% on deliveries. I was low on deliveries. I thought they were gonna, try to end the wave a little better than they did. Here's one from Amy at _SF Tahoe. Note, Elon Musk's 2018 CEO Performance Award shares have all been recognized by the Tesla board as achieved and approved, and they are vested. But Elon has not exercised them yet by purchasing them at a discounted price, and he has until March of 2028 to do so. That is the old plan for work he has already done and milestones already achieved. The 2018 performance comp plan itself is complete, and no new one is in place. There is no new incentive that would pay to Elon Musk, even if he made Tesla's market cap as big as Aramco and Apple combined. That needs to change. That is just wrong. Why has he not yet exercised all the options? This is not uncommon. Exercising the options is a taxable event and requires money to pay the taxes and to buy the shares at a discounted price. Often options are exercised through a cashless stock option. Some shares are sold for money to pay for the shares and taxes. I was happy to see her clarifying her previous comment here. So Tesla owner Silicon Valley had said Elon Musk needs a new comp plan for Tesla. I agree. He hasn't been paid in a year and essentially is working for free. The first swipe she took at this was when Elon Musk met the last ambitious milestone in the 2018 plan. He was paid the specified bonus in Tesla shares, and his incentive comp plan expired. No new incentive plan has been out in place. Elon has worked a full year with no incentive plan. It's time for the Tesla board to devise a new one. So yeah, I was happy to see the clarification on that tweet, so I like that. And here's one from James Catt. Let's do some quick, silly, and stupid math for fun. According to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, the fast food industry employs 3.3 million fast food and counter workers. These workers perform duties such as taking orders, serving food and beverages, serve customers at the counter from a steam table, may take payment, may prepare food and beverages. Imagine Tesla bot can displace just 10% of this workforce, say 300,000 bots. These workers make $28,000 a year before benefits, say total employment cost is $40,000 a year. So if Tesla were to charge $40,000, payback would be 1 year. Seems reasonable, right? But the businesses acquiring the bot can actually capitalize the expense, and so profitability would increase dramatically. Instead of expensing 40 grand per year in SG&A, they would only expense, say, 1/5 of that per year, or $8,000, and then nothing after. Immediate and sustained profitability increase, even if you throw on like some maintenance expense for labor and upkeep and warranty costs or whatever. Tesla would generate $300,000 times $40,000 300,000 units times $40,000 per equals $12 billion on this alone. Such a small example, but it does one thing well. It demonstrates the potential for Optimus is essentially unlimited. It's basically, for the purposes of financial modeling, almost infinity. It's less than infinity, but I get what you're saying. So yes, Tesla should absolutely pursue this because the R&D cost is relatively tiny in the big scheme of things. The opportunity is infinity. The opportunity is a very large and worthwhile target to go after. It's cool, AF. I think they have the right mix of manufacturing battery software prowess to make it possible, just not today or the day after tomorrow. Yeah, so it'll take Tesla a little while, but once they're done, they will have a very valuable product to sell that'll be very profitable for Tesla to sell. Dave Lee said, just got this text from my wife. The Street Fighter machine came, and he said, okay, great. So Dave Lee was a very competitive Street Fighter II player in the 90s and spent a lot of time on this arcade game. He could go hours on a single quarter for this game, challenging anybody to come beat him on Street Fighter II. Here's one from Elon Musk. Thanks, John, replying to John Stossel. I also like this tweet. I don't always like John Stossel's tweets or videos, but in this case, he's on board with Elon Musk and, as usual, opposed to what the government is up to. Elon does things our government failed at. He invented the world's best rockets, slashed the cost of spaceflight, and launched satellites that connect even the poorest, most remote parts of the world. Our world needs more makers like Musk, fewer takers like Elizabeth Warren. Let me play this video for you while I change the battery in my mouse because it is going bad on me. So I'm going to reduce my output volume here some to reduce the echo for you, and I'll click it.
Did Elon Musk pay that year? We actually saw his taxes that year. And the answer is he paid zero.
Zero was true one year because Musk didn't realize income that year. But at the time Warren said that, Musk had to pay the government $12 billion, more tax than anyone's paid in history.
Elon Musk is set to pay the single largest tax bill ever.
Warren wanted Musk to give the government more than $12 billion?
3, 2, 1.
Musk does things that government's unable to do. He invented the world's best rockets. NASA's given up building spaceships itself. Even the bureaucrats understand. Government workers can't do it.
NASA turns to the private sector.
America has launched.
Musk sent astronauts into orbit, something NASA hasn't done for 9 years.
All right, so the video keeps going for a long time, so I'm not going to show you the rest of it, but you can go find it easily if you go find John Stossel. I did make a video maybe a year ago about John Stossel saying that electric cars are not the future and they won't work and a bunch of stuff like that. So go find that video if you would like to. I'll back out of here and I will move up past that tweet we just saw and show you that Elon Musk liked another post from James Stevenson, this one with a long narrative and some charts. So here's kind of me introducing the idea that starting an American electric car company was stupidity squared, and that even though there was a low chance of success, if you've heard enough Elon Musk interviews, you've heard this story before. Elon said it was worth doing. Here's the exponential growth chart. Tesla has now sold more than 5 million vehicles, inception to date, and it took them, 10 years to sell the first million? And in the 4 years since, they've sold another 4.5 million. At the end of 2020, Tesla announced their 50% target. Here's what that looks like on a logarithmic scale. It's a straight line on a log scale if you want to do compounding growth. If you want to do a normal scale, then the line bends upwards as you go, as this one shows. and you get more dramatic growth here, right, than it looks like here. It looks like straight line. Well, they're not increasing the pace, but they are. This is only 300,000. That's more like 400,000. This is more like 500,000, right? And all Tesla models are among the safest vehicles ever tested by independent labs. It's a success story unparalleled in modern automotive history, and there's a lot of room left to grow. If you don't know what this is the Tesla website image that goes with the next generation vehicle. So you might be able to imagine a coupe style, smaller vehicle fitting this form factor. That's a Franz von Holzhausen look to a vehicle, if I've ever seen one. But yeah, there may only be the one door on it, and that one door may not swing in a conventional way. We'll find out when Tesla shows it to us. So good that Elon liked that. I liked that he liked that. Here's one from Lucille Chadwick. Let's revisit a 2025 EV sales forecast by CNN from 2019. They projected VW to be the market leader. Have never even heard that BYD company exists, and forecast Tesla on rank 4 with about 400,000 EVs sold. Tesla sold more than that in just one quarter in 2023, and no company sold more EVs that year. And BYD, the company CNN has never heard of, is a close second. VW and Renault, nowhere to be seen. These journalists should all be fired. Well, VW is selling EVs. They're just not selling anything close to this projection for 2025. Now, maybe they'll still make it by 2025, but probably not. Tesla is already way, way past this number. All right. The next tweet that I liked came from Clean Coder at coder_clean. We're going to need James to recreate this graph with the actuals in 2 years' time. Will be epic. That's how I found that tweet. Here's one from Jim Farley at JimFarley98. Proud of our team. For strong 2023, Ford is the #2 EV brand in the US with record Q4 and year. EVs up 24% from Q3 and 18% for the year. F-150 Lightning up 74% in Q4. Mustang Mach-E had its best year ever. E-Transit is best-selling electric van nameplate in the US, and next-gen EVs are on the way. Elon liked this tweet, and so did I. Here's one from Sawyer Merritt. Tesla just released a new 2023 recap video. I'm not going to play you that video here, but you probably already saw it. It's got 4,700 likes on it, but if you didn't, go check it out on Sawyer's page. Just search for his handle plus this phrase. Here's one from Arash Malik at Minimal Duck. The last few days have been amazing. The Cybertruck is a beast on land and sand. Can't wait to edit this video. Stay tuned. So look out for that video when you find it. Looks like that should be fun. Climbing sand dunes in a Cybertruck. Here's one from Chensu Bayan at Bayan Chensu. Thanks for the chart, James. Good to see it in an image. Yeah, I said one more chart for anyone confused over whether Tesla has been growing at 50%. Tesla deliveries growth has been compounding at an average annual rate of 55% since 2013. Note logarithmic scale. Also note that every year during this period, critics warned of a demand cliff, said the growth story is over, and competition is coming. So yeah, that's what it looks like on a log scale. You can tell it's a log scale here because every time it starts with a 1 and has an additional 0 after it. So it's a 10x log scale at each of these grid lines here. So crazy stuff to see how much Tesla's sales have grown over time. And I did put it on the other scale in this thread. Here it is. Somebody asked, show the linear scale also. So here's what it looks like on a linear scale, if you are curious. Okay, then I'll hit back, and I'll hit back one more time. and show you the next tweet I liked. Nax of Basic Summon for Basic AP at Jason_Tesla tweeted, yeah, I was Kager ignorant. I hear it all the time, though especially from you, LOL, but honestly I do one of these when I hear it. Shrug. Screenshotted it and finally understand it. Thanks. What does he finally understand? Well, he said I may be missing something, but doing the straight math from 22 to 23, it's only 37.5% growth, as we saw in CERN Basher's tweet. Yes, that is 37.5% if you do it just from this year to this year, but that isn't what I did. I did the compound annual growth rate. If you're curious what that formula looks like, I left an example here. And if you want a reasonableness check on it to make sure you did it right when you're done, which I recommend if you're trying to do Kager, you punch in the starting number and then you multiply it by 1 plus whatever you think the Kager is, and you repeat that for the number of times that you have periods in your Kager. So in this case, it's 10 years worth of growth from 2013 to 2023. So you punch in 22,442 times 1.55, and then you hit your enter button 10 times. And whatever number it ends on ought to be real close to 1.81 million. And that's how you know you did it right. Because the 55% is a rounded number, so it's not going to come out to exactly the right number, but it ought to be close. Okay, the next tweet that I liked came from Warren Redlick, Chasing Dreams, hashtag unregretted user minutes. Here's Poor, tweeting, don't get too excited, the 3/4 average for deliveries is just 462, and I wouldn't at all be surprised to see Q1 right around that level, and Tesla struggle to grow deliveries even 10% in 2024, hashtag Tesla. I just replied this you with that screenshot somebody helped me find earlier of his prediction for what the 2023 delivery numbers would be. So Warren Redlick got a lot of likes on a comment that I got a lot of likes on that you can't see in this angle. But I was happy Matster at MatsterT3 tagged me on that so I could find it. Here's one from My Tesla Weekend at 4K podcast, Brian White, the man of many names, who posted, the numbers don't lie, if only the same could be said about the numbnuts still crying wolf. I'll leave that as Brian wrote it, as I cannot improve on it. Here's one from the Tesla Life. Finally, hashtag Cybertruck goes on display in the Greater Toronto area at an undisclosed location today, January 4th, but will be on public display at Yorkdale Mall in Toronto, Ontario on Friday, January 5th. Don't confuse people by making them think you mean Grand Theft Auto. Don't steal Cybertrucks, and though it does look like a truck that you would find in an old video game due to its polygonal shape. I'm sure it's easy to render in a video game graphics engine, but we're not talking GTA Grand Theft Auto, we're talking Greater Toronto area. Here's one from Adrian Dittman. We can keep chasing hype and generate more meaningless division, or we can focus on what really matters and reach for the stars. Our greatest calling is to spread the light of consciousness, and in the face of insurmountable odds, to rage against the dying of the light. With a video playing here of a SpaceX rocket lighting up. This is the kind of engine that you want in orbit, which is a different kind of engine than you want at sea level. So stage separation and lighten up for the burn to get into orbit. Pretty great. Here's one from Sawyer Merritt. Looks like Pharrell has taken delivery of his Cybertruck in Miami. Look how happy Pharrell is. I'll scroll down and show you my reply. I feel like a room without a roof. Pharrell Williams driving his Cybertruck, probably, I commented. Here's one from CERN Basher, another good tweet from him this week. The CEOs of big companies that employ a lot of workers should be calling Elon Musk now and paying Tesla a lot of money to be first in line to receive Tesla's Optimus robot. If they are not first in line, They could be waiting for years and watching as their competition deploys humanoid robots, massively undercutting them. They should view it as a call option on the survival of their business. What happens if UPS deploys bots before FedEx? What happens if Walmart deploys bots before Amazon, Target, or Kroger? What happens if CVS beats Walgreens? What happens if Ford beats GM? Which corporate leaders will step up? Do any of them understand what's at stake? So, good tweet there. Here's one from Connecting the Dots at Connecting O-Dots. Well, this aged well. When Tesla had its 2022 AI Day, a group of robotics experts and nerds mocked Tesla's efforts on a live thread led by CTWY. Cynthia Young. Now that Tesla_Optimus is about to enter productive work in factories, I thought it's a good time to check how well their expert predictions aged. Here they mocked the presentations as a grad student / TA doing a class presentation for a bunch of undergrads. Feels very 101. Well, yeah, Tesla was trying to explain what they were doing to regular people. So that's why it sounded that way. Because Tesla considered their audience. Considering the progress we saw, I guess the grad student and undergrads learned pretty fast. I shouldn't show you this whole thread, or I shouldn't read you this whole thread, but if you want to pause and read it, you can, to see what Cynthia was tweeting and what comments Connecting O-Dots put on it. Maybe I'll click in here very briefly for you to be able to see what this was about. That's a vacuum attachment, which is a good way of picking up cardboard boxes, but it's not a very good way of doing most things, only that one thing. So if you want your humanoid robot to be good at only doing one thing, sure, give it vacuum hands. But if you want it to be good at doing all the things humans do, give it human hands. Or robot hands that function the same way human hands and fingers function. That way, if they need to pick up power tools and operate them, they can, right? Okay, back to the next tweet that I liked from Troy Teslike. Model Y range changes. The dyno test scores of Model Y long range were 446 miles for city and 411 for highway. Because the tests are performed at very low speeds, EPA says the numbers should be multiplied by 0.7 to get more realistic results. So they test in a lab, but a lab doesn't have air resistance like you do in real life, and you don't have traffic situations and stuff. So they have just decided that 0.7 is the coefficient that should be applied to whatever test you get in a lab on a dyno. Let me click through here and see his second tweet. That gives us 446 times 0.7 equals 312 for city, 411 times 0.7 equals 288 for highway. EPA then says to calculate EPA rated range, their preferred metric, we need to take 55% city, 45% highway, so 312 times 0.55 plus 288 times 0.45 equals 301. This is called the 2-cycle test, and most companies use it. But EPA also uses a 5-cycle test, which usually gives higher results. Tesla sometimes uses that, and the score with the 5-cycle method was 330. The EPA changed the 5-cycle method, and now the new score is 310. So, did Tesla change stuff that makes Model Y have a shorter range now? No. The EPA changed their 5-cycle methodology to now yield lower numbers for everybody who uses it. So everybody is going to have to restate their EPA rated range if they were using the 5-cycle method instead of the 2-cycle method, which most companies weren't doing, so you probably won't see a lot of that. But no, Tesla didn't make Model Ys have less range through some change they made to it. It's just the EPA. And there's a link here from Troy if you want to go check it out. Here's one from Jasper Saunders. Real risk, over 105,000 vehicle fires in the U.S. in 2022. 34, or 0.03%, were Tesla vehicles. Here are the top 10. Ford, 16%. Chevy, 15%. Dodge, 9%. Toyota 7%, Nissan 5%, Honda 5%, GMC 4%, Hyundai 3%, Jeep 3%. I'm sure BMW has to be on this list, right? No? Kia 3%. Maybe BMW got their fires under control. But BMWs were catching fire all the time years ago. Good to see some good fire metrics out there. So if people tell you Teslas catch on fire more than anything, no, that's the opposite of the truth. Tesla is 2 orders of magnitude less likely to catch fire as far as the fleet performance. That's a misleading metric, though, because these companies have been putting cars on the road in greater numbers for a lot more years than Tesla has. So the fleet of actively used vehicles on highways has much greater percentages of these makes to begin with. Here's one from K10, 200,000 posts later, and I'm at 150,000 followers. Thank you for the love, X. Love to you all. So go follow Kristen Netton if you're not doing that already, and get her some more followers. She's pretty great. Here's one from Stephen Hart. This is a Tesla hater who replied to me, so I was trying to make a cartoon character for you, but none of them were funny enough to post. But I kind of like this one. Didn't want it to go to waste. So check that out. That's kind of fun, right? I mean, it doesn't look exactly like me, but who cares? Kind of a fun little cartoon guy there. He's got a little dog, and he's got some charts, and that's what I have. So that's kind of fun. And some Christmas decorations in the background. A window, I don't have a window. City skyline in the background. Maybe I should start wearing a shirt and tie and vest and coat. 3-piece suit to do these videos. I asked him how he got that, and he said DALL-E mixed your profile pic and a pic of Loki and then asked it to add a chart. So pretty funny stuff there. Here's one from Barkim Smeagol. Speaking of bag holder quotes, retweeting a screenshot of Brad Munkin, the fraud posing under the fake name Brad Munkin, as you're accustomed to me introducing him. Aside from my shortened Tesla, I've got the following cocktail of Tesla puts. Pray for my soul. So a year ago, he had January 27th of 2023 put options at $115, which expired out of the money, and $129, which may have expired out of the money. They expired worth way less than what he paid for them. February 3rd, P124s. I bet those were out of the money entirely. Wow, he paid so much money for those because he bought them in January 6th, like $20 below that level, maybe. Don't buy put options, folks. Don't buy put options unless you really know what you're doing. You got to be a professional trader to think about buying put options on a stock. Stocks go up in general over the long term. He had June 110s, September 50s, and January 2025 $25 strike put options, which I'm sure cost him nothing, but he lost it all. However much he bought, he lost. Here's one from Elon Musk. A few other products coming too. Alex is who he retweeted products and services in the past. All and everyone said Elon will never deliver. Okay, so here's everything that people used to say Elon was never going to make. Roadster 1, global supercharger net, Model S, Model X, global factories, global showrooms, global services, Model 3, Model Y, solar roof, stationary batteries, and Cybertruck. Products and services today, everyone says Elon will never deliver. Compact car, full self-driving, robotaxi, humanoid robot Optimus, to be continued. So far, Elon has delivered everything he promised, everything. Now, it may not quite be everything, but it's a lot. Like, almost everything Elon says he's going to make, he makes. Still waiting on that candy company, Elon. The candy company may have been a joke. I don't know. Here's one from Drew Baglino, who never tweets. So I encouraged him with my like, at Baglino, tweeted, stop by to congratulate the local team on the successful certification of whatever the D is putting these megapacks into service. If you know, tell me in the comments below. Of the 185 megawatt megapack installation on Oahu today, so Oahu was able to turn off their fossil fuel peaker plant because this megapack installation made it unprofitable to ever run. So good news for breathing in Oahu. No more pollution coming out of that peaker plant because now they have Tesla megapacks to use. Here's another one from John Stossel, which must be a different one than the one we saw already because it's showing up separately. Elizabeth Warren says corporations are greedy. Of course corporations are greedy, but to satisfy their greed, they have to please customers, unlike politicians. I liked that tweet. Yeah, pretty funny. Here's one from the Short Shorts historian, This Day in Tesla Q history. Whoa, slow down there, Faraday Future. You are moving too fast. Mark B. Spiegel, Stanfill Cap. Faraday Future, yearly deliveries. We're going to move a lot faster than Tesla, says Faraday Future. Well, here's the deliveries from Faraday Future. It's been 0 every single year until 2023, and it was 10 this year. And if you think they're profitable selling 10 Faraday Future vehicles, I have news for you. It's extremely difficult to make any money if you only sell 10 vehicles. That's not very many. Here's one from Holmar's catalog. Inexperienced journalist Victor Tongerman admits he doesn't understand how the EPA range test methodology works. We just saw it from Troy Teslake. But he headlined his article, Tesla admits its cars have shorter driving range than it claimed. Nope, that is not what happened, Victor Tongerman. So good on Holmar's blog calling you out for that. Here's one from S.E. Robinson Jr. From only 21 hours ago. Next gen is going to be fun. I was excited to hear that they are starting the production line at Giga Texas. This means we'll have the opportunity to witness the process. Just like we did with Cybertruck, we get to see new equipment deliveries and random discoveries by flyover pilots all the way through to production. In other words, it feels like the hunt/journey gets to continue. Replying to my chart here of the top 25 models sold in the US, if you didn't see this chart, here's Model Y in 5th place, up 4 spots from 9th place last year. And here's the Model 3, up 3 spots from 15th last year to 12th this year, passing the Corolla. You see Model Y ahead of the Camry, GMC Sierra, Honda CR-V, very close to the RAV4, probably going to pass them this year. So the first reply here was Model Y will be pushing for that top spot this year. I replied, I'd bet against it. 750,000 is a long way from where they were this year. But that next-gen vehicle, if you sell a vehicle for 25 grand, and if there is nothing remotely as good for anything close to 25 grand, you could sell millions of that. So let's scroll on up here. Dr. Jack at drjack16 tweeted, this guy summarizes the disease called the Cybertruck syndrome perfectly. Initial signs of the syndrome begin with comments like, oh my, that thing is hideous. Did a child design it? As the syndrome reaches moderate stage of progression, comments include, actually, it doesn't look that bad. End-stage signs and symptoms then develop. These include comments like, I really like it now for some reason, or I gotta have it. This can be followed by emptying of one's bank account and being yelled at by their spouse for buying such a hideous vehicle, only for the syndrome to begin in early stages for the spouse as well. Please share the details of this post so more are aware of the Cybertruck syndrome and its disease progression, and know there is no vaccine for this disease. Hashtag Tesla, hashtag Cybertruck, at Woodhouse2, which is Franz von Holzhausen. Retweeting Teslaverse, at Teslaverse_4269. This guy went from a hashtag Cybertruck hater to a Cybertruck lover in 3 days. Listen to what he says. So go check out that video if you want to see the character arc for that guy in 3 days relative to the Tesla Cybertruck. Here's one from the Short Shorts historian. I checked what 2023 tweets I had in my archives and found a few from Wolfgang Pipperger. Wolfie, any comments on these? Let's check out these screenshots. I'll just let you read these. We are getting pretty close to the end of this video, I think, as we approach the 1 hour mark. Yeah, that's called off, but VW Group will ramp it to above 1 million BEVs in 2023, overtaking Tesla by far, Wolfie predicted wrongly. Passenger version will be released in the US in 2023. If you have a video review of your VW ID Buzz, drop a link in the comments below. Let us know how you're liking your VW ID Buzz. They could have sold so many of these if they had just made it. People would have bought that vehicle. Canoe, an electric vehicle startup, just unveiled its first pickup truck model. The company hopes to start delivering the truck in 2023. Good luck. Yeah. Here's one from Chris Dungeon. Brad equals the ultimate contraindicator, replying to the last tweet in the 12 days of Bradsmas. So I'll make a separate video about the 12 days of Bradsmas. Here's one from Stephen Mark Ryan, Tesla Bull Thesis.jpg. This was a still frame from a video taken by a Cybertruck driver just driving down a neighborhood street where kids were playing football or basketball or whatever and had to get out of the way for the Cybertruck to pass. This is what those kids' expressions looked like when they saw a guy driving a Cybertruck down their road. Here's one from Kyle Connor. It's Kyle Connor from the Out of Spec Review channel, I think. Now imagine if they took the time to double-check charging handles weren't broken. Instead of learning this dance, celebrate when charging quality is near 100%. Yeah, definitely. You guys do not have the uptime percentage to be spending your time learning country line dances. That is that is not what your customers want you to be doing. They want you fixing EV chargers. Here's one from Iconic Tesla. At Iconic Tesla, got sideswiped today in my Tesla Model 3. Thankful for the power of Tesla engineering and that my vehicle was still able to be driven off the street after the accident. I'm okay and was on autopilot during the crash. So look how rock solid the Tesla was, despite the attempt to get pit maneuvered by that pickup truck, which then flipped a couple of times down the road after attempting a very boneheaded maneuver. So good video there that I saw Saved Tesla commented on to reply. Normally I tag them. They changed their handle recently, but I don't remember to what. Here's one from Dylan Decal. Tungsten carbide, a compound of tungsten and carbon, is significantly harder than pure tungsten, 6.5 to 7.5 Mohs scale. On the Mohs scale of mineral hardness, tungsten carbide ranks about 8.5 to 9. This makes it almost as hard as corundum, ruby and sapphire, and close to diamond in hardness. Diamond is 9 to 10 on the Mohs scale. So what's he replying to here? It's Dr. Castorp, at CastorpDR, longtime Tesla hater, whose caption I will not read you, who retweeted a screenshot of Sid Chambers' PhD at Artful Takedown, retweeting a screenshot of Elon Musk saying we might be able to offer an optional tungsten carbide coating, which is basically scratch-proof to everything below diamond hardness, captioning it, tungsten is not scratch-proof to everything below diamond hardness. Well, thank you for that non-sequitur. Tungsten isn't what Elon Musk was talking about coating the Cybertruck with. Elon was talking about an optional tungsten carbide coating. The hardness of tungsten carbide is much harder than the hardness of tungsten. So that's a big old non sequitur from Sid Chambers, PhD, who either missed the point or knew what they were doing, just trying to be mean and confuse people into thinking Elon Musk doesn't understand materials science. Yes, Elon Musk understands materials science and said basically scratch-proof to everything below diamond hardness. Not completely scratch-proof to anything except a diamond. Come on. I mean, how often do people have rubies and sapphires with them that they want to scratch cars with? All right, here's one from Warren Redlick. Why doesn't the future look like the future? Saxon J. Musk. That was the question that prompted the design of the Tesla Cybertruck not looking like every other pickup on the road. So, good video clip there of Cybertruck running through the rain, a la Blade Runner. And here's one from Holmar's catalog. The Tesla Megapack just helped shut down the last coal power plant in Hawaii. This is why I love Tesla. Kind of repeating the same thing I just said. Maybe I learned it from Holmar's in that tweet. I forget where I learned it. Here's one from Elon Musk from this morning. After that one puff with Rogan, I agreed at NASA's request to do 3 years of random drug testing. Not even trace quantities were found of any drugs or alcohol. WSJ is not fit to line a parrot cage for bird chocolate ice cream. So here's a nice thread from Holmar's catalog making fun of the Wall Street Journal for claiming that Elon Musk is on basically every drug you can think of. According to some source, some anonymous source, who they think is familiar with the board's thinking, but is actually just imagining vividly, and then trying to find a Wall Street Journal article columnist dumb enough to publish their thoughts on the matter. Here's one from Romain Edwin, at Romain Edwin on X. In 5 minutes, your Tesla can warm up remotely from the Tesla app. You don't have to scratch your car. You don't have to explode its windows with boiling water. Yeah, I don't know what these people were thinking. Scraping a Tesla with a metal shovel. Paint and glass scraped with a shovel, and then apparently boiling water being poured on the front windscreen. Folks, that ain't it. Just start the defrost 5 minutes before you want to go anywhere. Take your gloved hand and brush off anything that's left. That's it. You know, clap your hands dry and then hop in your car and go. Folks. And then the same guy replied, when I retweeted, if these folks had just opened the Tesla app on their phone and turned on the defrost instead of boiling water and finding a shovel, their windows would have been defrosted by now. He said, true, finding a shovel and waiting for the water to heat up takes quite a bit of time. A washed pot never boils. Maybe not never, but it takes a long time if you're watching it intently. Here's one from Ryan Torres, at Ryan Torres Tesla. Night shots of the Steck Dynachrome matte black wrap on Tesla Cybertruck. First time plant shopping at Ruth Bancroft in Walnut Creek. So let's take a look at these photos here real fast. Here is a matte black Cybertruck that doesn't look matte black from that perspective. Along the bottom edge, anyway. But there you go. Matte black Cybertruck. Pretty cool to see it with some plants in it. And Brandon at Tesla Flex with another X tweeted, trying to take a video of the Cybertruck while not getting dinged for not paying attention on autopilot. Yeah, just hold your camera phone up to the window and don't look at what it's capturing. That's how you drive your Tesla on autopilot without it dinging at you to pay more attention. Here's one from Jordan at Astro Jordy. Unexpected drag race. This is crazy cool. TRX versus Cybertruck. I can't remember which brand of legacy automaker makes a gasoline pickup they call the TRX, but if you can leave it in the comments below. Whatever it is, it got toasted by the bearded guy in a Cybertruck in this video and left in the dust where it ought to be. And here's the last tweet that we like this week, Loki and I, from Dutchy Wiegans. Snow cleared this morning, and I did it in bare feet. At Tesla, hashtag Tesla. This was pre-defrost, covered in snow, you can see here. And this was post-defrost, just moments later, and you can see perfectly out of all the glass windows. That's how you do it. don't scrape your car with a big metal shovel. And that is this week's video. So we're going to check back in with Loki, who is curled up more in bed than he was at the beginning of the video. And I will outro by saying thank you for supporting me. I appreciate your support, whether you're doing that on Patreon or on X, or by joining my YouTube channel as my executive producers Kathy Kitchler and Rebellionaire.com did, and I will see you in the next one.